As engineers and business leaders, we know what it takes to build a successful and sustainable business. We understand the need for innovation in order to keep ahead of the competition, particularly the competition from rising nations. And we know that our business is reliant on the skills, imagination, and creativity of our employees more than any other factor. Our businesses are principally the sum of our people. That is why so many of you have called for a greater national emphasis on engineering skills. Despite leading some of the most famous engineering brands in the world, you know how hard it is to find skilled engineers and technicians. This is especially true for our supply chains, who do not have the pulling power and global recognition to attract people from around the world. Every time I visit engineering companies, which I do frequently, the common refrain is, we want to expand, we want to recruit, but we can't find the skilled people. The evidence put forward by the Royal Academy of Engineering, Engineering UK and others is clear. The demand for engineers and technicians exceed their supply. And if left unchecked, this skills gap will undermine the economic recovery and reduce the international competitiveness of the UK. The shortage of engineers is an international problem. The skills gap we face in the UK are repeated in the United States and in many other developed nations. But the UK has an added challenge with the lowest proportion of female engineers in Europe. Only 6% of the UK engineering workforce is female, whereas in Sweden it's about 25%, and in other territories to the east of Europe it's nearer 30%. I highlight the painful shortage of women engineers because that is an area where we could do much more to close skill gaps and retain competitiveness. But the principle is wider than that. We should be looking for talent in every sector of society. Many of our businesses serve the UK public very directly. Our products and services could be better targeted if the composition of our engineering workforce often reflected society as a whole. We should identify the groups that are most underrepresented in our businesses. Women, people from certain ethnic minorities, people from lower social economic backgrounds, and take care to build our talent management systems to attract more, develop more, and retain more. It is no longer good enough to explain away a lack of diversity in our workforce on the grounds that insufficient people from underrepresented groups apply. We must be doing everything in our power to make our firms more attractive to all prospective employees. And because engineering roles and high skill and high challenge, we need to put our support to the interventions in schools and colleges that help all young people progress with mathematics and science, design and computing, so that more have the door to an engineering career open to them. The engineering profession is doing a lot to attract more and more diverse people already. The Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering, the Big Bang Fair, and Tomorrow's Engineers initiatives are just 3 examples. But we are losing too many of the people we inspire before they reach key decision points. When our employees volunteer as STEM ambassadors in primary school, they work with 50% girls and 50% boys. When that work takes place in secondary schools, the proportion is 40% girls. By the time college and university choices have been made, we're down to 14%, and in the workforce, just 6%. As well as inspiring young people, we must also nurture the talent pool so that more people from all backgrounds progress towards engineering careers. And then we need to ensure that those same people feel valued as our employees and choose to stay in the engineering profession. As business leaders, we do just that. We lead. We need to distill our collective experiences until we have a clear vision of what really works in engaging a more diverse talent pool. Then we need to agree a plan on how to execute that vision. Lastly, we need to attract or challenge our peers to work alongside us in making that vision a reality. As business leaders, we expect action. The Royal Academy of Engineering has the support of government in taking action. The Academy is already working with the professional engineering institutions to make our profession more welcoming. But the real traction will come from employers. All the components of a solution to our skill shortage in engineering already exist. It's up to us, with the assistance of government and our peer group, to assemble them into a neatly effective engineering talent system so that we see more and more diverse engineers and technicians in our firms progressing to the highest levels in our profession. I'm excited about the prospect for our success in this vital venture.